laying in here. I'm not gonna be on this side of the camera for too long because we want to see fish. We don't want to see me in my weird 70s pajamas in my glasses with no makeup on, raging, because this is going to be quite the rant video, because the Rewired Soul has come for the pettube community and come after Taylor Nicole Dean, who is a very famous, very young woman who's become very famous in the pettube community, and is struggling, well, is going through addiction recovery. And the Rewired Soul is a drama channel who masquerades as a mental health channel, who has been really just picking on Taylor Nicole Dean, who, yes, has made mistakes, but is a 21-year-old girl going through recovery and not doing anything wrong. And she has asked this man to back off, and and to let her tell her story, and he won't. And this is not the first time he has done this. I truly believe that the Rewired Soul is a dangerous person. He's a person who doesn't have his own addiction under control. He's funneled his addiction into YouTube and judging other people and drama and getting himself into drama, which, you know, by making this video I'm doing. But if he's coming to pettube and just gonna start talking about the people that I know and that I follow, I'm going to stand up for it. So for the rest of this video, I'm probably going to get on the other side of the camera, and I'm going to talk a little bit about why the Rewired Soul is so dangerous, about his attack on Taylor Nicole Dean, and about just kind of pets and mental health, and how they really have a special relationship for some people that maybe not everybody can see. And just kind of a content warning. This isn't like my usual very family friendly fun kind of stuff. I'm talking about some really serious stuff here. Thank you. Onto the other side of the camera. So, looking in on my lovely guppy tank here to keep our nerves down while I talk about this, I just want to start by talking about who the Rewired Soul is in general. And the Rewired Soul is a YouTuber named Chris Boutte, who says that he's a mental health channel, but he actually has no credentials whatsoever, which came out recently when he kept doing videos on the drama and the beauty community and really harassing people. There's a girl named Leafy Greens, a woman named Trisha Paytas, who he basically made videos on and harassed until the point where they themselves were having mental problems. And he did this under the guise of making videos about them for the good of mental health, because, you know, he's gonna point out all the things that are wrong with these YouTubers, and that'll be such a good experience for us. But really what he's doing it for is to make money, to inflate his own ego, and to satisfy his own addiction to public attention and drama and all that stuff. And if you want to look up any of the stuff I'm talking about, there's some people who have great videos on it. Elle Loves Tea has probably the most comprehensive videos on how Chris Boutte and his mother are not certified and do not have all the experience they claim they do to be diagnosing and talking about people's mental health. Elle Loves Tea videos, probably the most comprehensive, along with Smoky Glow has a really good one, and my friend Hedda Gold. And yeah, if you want some background on just the general drama that happened before this current instance with Taylor Nicole Dean that I'm going to be talking about, they can get even more into depth on him. But basically, he just goes to town on YouTubers and talks about it like a drama channel, only saying he's doing it for their mental health. And that's very, very inappropriate, especially because people are following him and thinking that he has some kind of mental health experience beyond personal experience, and he doesn't. After all this came out, he went and got certified as a sober coach, which is basically like being a really super great AA sponsor. It still does not include any mental health training or mental health skills. And he is making videos like the ones he's done on Taylor Nicole Dean, who I am about to talk about. And two, I want to remind everybody, once again, is this very, very young girl that he's coming after. Young woman. She's a very young woman he's coming after. And I can understand people who are worried about the animals in her care, worried about her health, but Chris is not. Taylor Nicole Dean is probably considered the most famous pet tuber, which us fish tubers are sort of included in, but we're also kind of like our own little niche of the pet tube community. But Taylor Nicole Dean is without a doubt one of, if not the biggest pet tuber. She has tons and tons of animals. She has tons and tons of videos on their care, their differences, just doing fun things with him, just the typical things you would expect a late teen to early 20-something who is rich and loves animals to be doing. At a certain point, Taylor got involved with Johnny Craig, and it was a very abusive relationship. They started doing heroin together, and things really went downhill, and it took a hit on her animal care, which a lot of people were upset about, and that side of things I can kind of understand, although it's coming out now. It looks like her animals were safely being taken care of. I can understand anybody who's concerned about the well-being of animals always. So that was where the initial drama with her came from, was people were worried because they were worried about her and about her pets because she had become addicted to heroin and was having a lot of trouble. And her boyfriend was abusive and much older than her, and it was just really bad. And that's where the drama with her started to begin with. There was a woman named Whatever who made a video kind of detailing all the deaths of Taylor's pets ever, and that was a little much for me. I agree with some of Whatever's videos, but that one in particular was a little much for me. Some of the stuff was, yeah, Taylor should have been paying more attention, but it was a mistake, and mistakes happen. But she did, you know, that video needs a mention, because it is kind of the jumping off point starting on the Taylor Nicole Dean drama. But anyway, all that drama happened, right? Taylor Nicole Dean went to recovery, or went to treatment. is in recovery, is 30 days sober, and she seems to be doing pretty well. A lot of people are really skeptical because she has started a new relationship with somebody that she met in rehab, and has been, you know, still being kind of impulsive in some of her choices and stuff. But I don't really think that's any of anybody's business if she's sober and it's helping her. All she needs to be focused on is what she needs to do to stay sober and stay healthy and take care of herself and her pets. That's all she needs to be focused on. And if getting into a new relationship is helpful, that's okay. That's okay if it doesn't end up being the best relationship for her forever and ever. That's okay if it does. As long as it's helping her and it's not hurting her, there's no reason to be talking about it. Recovery relationships are something that happen a lot, because when you go into a treatment center, you're in close space with all these people and talking about all your deep, dark problems, and sometimes you're gonna connect. Sometimes you're gonna connect over really deep things, and that's a thing that happens. So yeah, Taylor Nicole Dean is now sober, doing good. She has a boyfriend who is not abusive that we know of, has a house that has a lot more space for her pets. It seems like they all got nice upgrades. And the drama comes in because Chris Boutte with the Rewired Soul wants to make this girl's recovery his business, and she needs to be doing recovery his way, and she's not right if she doesn't. And really what it's all about is him getting views. He just wants views. And he got kicked out of the drama and beauty community, taking too much advantage of those people. And so now he's trying to hook into the pettube community. And so this is my warning to the pettube community. Do not trust the Rewired Soul. Do not think he is a mental health channel. He is not. He is a drama channel. So the Rewired Soul, he sees that Taylor Nicole Dean is opening up about her addiction recovery and her new relationship, and kind of her story of getting involved in her previous relationship with Johnny Craig, which was abusive, and they did heroin together. He is who initially introduced her to heroin. And so that's kind of, you know, the Rewired Soul. He starts hearing about this and he's like, I smell blood. And where he smells blood, he smells money. So he's like, burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it, burn it. And he decides he's going to start making a bunch of videos on Taylor Nicole Dean and her recovery. And actually his first one, it was okay. It was just saying Taylor Nicole Dean is back and we should support her in her recovery. And that was okay. He talked a little bit too much about her personal business and things that were just none of his business. But yeah, that video was fine. He realized it was very popular. So he's like, da, 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 comes in for the kill and just starts making more videos on this girl, talking about how, you know, her relationship is doomed to fail and it's gonna hurt her recovery, and just really going after her. And she reaches out to him on Twitter and she says, hey, please stop making videos about my recovery journey. I will share it when I'm ready to share it in my words. Let me make my video on it. Please stop making videos about it. And he says, nope, and goes and makes a third video. So this man is just making videos talking about how this girl has no right to do this or that with no credentials. And she has asked him to stop, and he won't. And he feeds off drama. So if he's figured out that he's kind of tapped out drama in the beauty community, he is definitely coming for the pet tube community. So watch out, because this guy may seem nice on the surface, but it just takes a itty bitty little scratch to find out that he's a really just gross person who really does not have anything but money on his mind. And yeah, he needs to leave people alone. He needs to let Taylor Nicole Dean recover in the way that she needs to recover. If she and her animals are safe, that's all that matters. Leave her alone. Yes, she's a public figure in the sense that she's on Instagram, she's on YouTube, she's on social media, she's a very public person. But that doesn't mean that we have the right to dissect her every single life choice and just be really terrible about this 21-year-old girl. She's a girl. Leave her alone. Oh my goodness. Let people learn. And she's sharing her journey. She's just sharing it her way. And I'm not even super pro Taylor Nicole Dean. Ha, my fish is pooping green. I fed them duckweed earlier. I'm not even a huge fan of Taylor Nicole Dean, though. I just don't think that... I think that Chris from the Rewired Soul is a dangerous person, and him coming after her is dangerous for her. It's dangerous for her. He is coming after her in a way that puts her sobriety at risk. Because what it comes down to is, when you're recovering, your job is to be recovering. And he said something to her along the lines of, I'm just doing this so that you'll be a better example of recovery to your fans. It is not her job to be an example right now. She is a month sober, 21-year-old girl. It is her job to be sober and take care of herself and her career and her pets. It is not her job to be everybody's big sister yet. She'll get to that point, I'm sure. I hope. I have great hopes for her. And she'll get to that point, but when she is at that point of being ready to help others is really, that's really up to her. And in any kind of AA or any kind of good recovery program, they would not want somebody trying to be a model example for other people recovering until they were at least a year or two sober. So trying to ask her to be a role model now is like asking so much of her, it's setting her up to automatically fail. So yeah. And in our community here, FishTube and PetTube, our pets are our life. Our pets are, we love them. We love them like family members. And a lot of us struggle with various anxieties, chronic illnesses, depressions, and get so much joy and sense of meaning and purpose and control in our lives from caring for pets, that maybe somebody who doesn't have that love of pets and that combo of mental anxiety doesn't understand. But our pets are very, very, very important to us here on PetTube. Even the worst pet tubers, and by worst I mean the ones that have the most care upgrading they could be doing, they're still doing this because they love animals. I mean, unless you're talking about some of the people who are like catch-em-all fishing, who obviously just like wants to be like on the real world or something. Like most legitimate pet tubers and fish tubers, they really care about animals, and animals have saved them and helped them. And So just trashing this poor girl who loves animals for views is really messed up, and it's not the first time he's done it. And I'm just getting so ranty now, I'm gonna go ahead and stop, but just, this is my warning to pettube. We love our pets. We are vulnerable to drama, though. We are vulnerable to drama. And if this man is trying to get into this community, do not let him in, because he is literally a dangerous person.